Hi, this is Brenda and Elaine.
Welcome to our After the Show episode, where we go deeper into what we learned from our conversations with guests.
It was really nice talking to Laura about her life as an athlete. Race affects everything. Like, we know that, but we asked that question about what about being a Black woman affected your experience? And you would think, well, being a track athlete, it wouldn't necessarily, but I thought the two things she said, maybe having been forced into doing the shorter distances, even though her body might have been more made for longer distances because she was Black. I thought that was interesting. And then I also thought the idea of when you travel and you go to these various places to run, where do you feel safe and where you don't feel safe? It's like our whole lives, we always have to worry about our safety.
That was very enlightening. And another thing that I really appreciated about Laura's conversation was the power of routine. I always thought that, an athlete does have certain routines about their sport or getting ready for a competition or something, but the fact that the routine extends into her full life, into when she goes to bed and what she eats. And I think that is something that we can all use in our lives, whether we're athletes or not. Many times in my life, I have actually found a routine helpful, and then I always forget about that. And so it was a good reminder for me that just being intentional about what you want to do with your day, with your eating, with anything is helpful.
Yeah, and that's the reminder I took from that same piece of the conversation was when you're paying attention to your health in one area, then it makes you more conscious, thoughtful about other areas. So with her, it was sleep or not drinking, like not, staying out too late for bars. But I think also with me, when I'm conscious about exercising, which I'm being really conscious about now, then there's a spillover effect to my eating. Like, I'm not going to eat that junk because I just came from lifting weights. And now I'm like, well, let me go ahead and make the green smoothie.
Right. And feeling good physically because of activity, because of what you're eating, because you're sleeping well, that spills over too into my attitude about my day. How I feel about myself, how I feel about other people. So it's all connected.
Like interconnected beings. Laura is an athlete. She was a D1 runner. I mean, just you look at her, she looks like an athlete. And one of the things that I hadn't thought about before was being an athlete versus natural athleticism. And so she was saying, I'm not coordinated. I don't have good hand-eye coordination. Like, I always think of athletes as they're these beings that were born with a set of talents that define them. Like, we're good at math. So for us,
we're mathletes.
We're nerds. right. We're mathletes. Okay. But what I thought differently about after talking to Laura was, she chose to be an athlete. It wasn't that she was just so naturally talented. And she did have natural talents, but I'm saying she was like, at a very young age, I want to be like, who did she say? Jackie Joyner-Kersee?
Yes,
Who was
yes.
Right. And then she made a very intentional plan. I want to see how far I can go with this. I want to run in college. I want to compete. And I thought, well, okay, we can all be athletes.
Right. So she took the steps. She figured out what the
Yes.
steps were to get her there and to add to her natural ability, the training, I'm sure, the working out, the coaching, all those things. And she made it happen, which is impressive.
And so we can too. We can claim to be athletes now. In our middle age, not just mathletes, but athletes.
Yeah, that's a good point. We all have natural talents, but that doesn't mean those are the only things that we can do.
Right. And then I think I at least counted myself out of things. My husband's super athletic, as you know. And so I'd be like, well, he's the athlete. So I'm going to sit here and read a book while he plays basketball. But, maybe I need to get into, not just exercising and lifting weights, but maybe I should do a sport.
Do something competitive.
Right? Because I'm competitive. Yeah. So my biggest takeaway from Laura is I'm going to try to pick up an athletic hobby.
Very cool. Because we can all be athletes. We can all be readers. We can all be, we can
Yes.
choose what we want to train for in our lives and make those things
Right.
happen.
Yeah, because there's some people who aren't naturally drawn to reading but choose to do it because that's hard for them. Where me, I love nothing better than diving into a good book, as I know you do too.
Right.
So we have to go do the thing that is not our natural inclination. It's good for our brains.
Yeah. And our bodies.
Yeah, right.
And, we've touched on this, but because it's something I know that you and I have struggled with lately is the sleep. How important it is for her as an athlete, but just in life in general. I noticed that if I get a good night's sleep, I feel better. My blood pressure is better, which is something that I'm working on. I eat better. I make better choices during the day.
Yeah.
And so finding out what it is that can get me a good night's sleep. And I've tried, as she mentioned, the tart cherry juice. I've tried meditation. And some nights things work, but it's still a work in progress for me, for sure.
For me too. And the thing is, I've been pretty disciplined about bedtime routine, et cetera, et cetera. But after we spoke to Laura, I wore my smartwatch to bed for 4 nights in a row. And the scary thing was that I might be in bed for 9 hours and it recorded 20 or 30 minutes of deep sleep. I was waking up like 20 times, even when I didn't, I might have thought I woke up 3 or 4 times, but the Apple Watch was saying I woke up 20 times. And so now I'm exploring what can I do to not just be in bed for 9 hours.
That's
but
easy. That's the easy part.
That's easy, right? Well, not always. But it is easy for me, but I think for some people that's challenging.
Right.
But to get some good sleep while I'm in there. And I don't know why I'm waking up so much, but
Yeah,
I'm going to work on that.
we always laugh because we might think of something in 2 a.m. and send a text to each other, and the other one responds immediately.
I know. It's like, oh, you up? Okay.
So we're gonna work on that one too.
Yeah. We have to be like Oprah and not bring our cell phones into the bedroom, which I can't do because I listen to my audiobooks. I know that's an excuse, but I listen to audiobooks to go to sleep.
No, I work hard to put it down. I have it in the room and I shouldn't. But the thing is, even when I don't have it in the room, I still wake up.
We have those busy minds.
Maybe for the next 2 weeks, we will sleep with our phones outside of the bedroom.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to,
right.
starting tonight. Starting Monday. All right. Well, it was wonderful to talk to Laura. I'm so glad that she shared her story on the Body Wealth podcast, and I think that she's got lessons for all of us.
Yes. Let us know what you learned from this guest.
If you want to support Body Wealth, please subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. We'd also love it if you give us a 5-star rating and write a review letting us know what you love about the show.
The Body Wealth podcast shares personal stories to inspire you. It does not constitute medical advice. For that, we encourage you to work with a trusted healthcare provider.